Good afternoon and welcome to our RSM's Global and Executive MBA webinar and information session today. It's a pleasure to be able to communicate with you about both of these programs today. My name is Rudsel Maduro, and I manage the Global Executive MBA program, and I also collaborate with the Executive MBA program, which is managed by my colleague, Caroline Engel. She's not here today. She's on holidays, so I'll pick this up for both of us today. Again, thank you for joining. To give you a bit of a rundown today on the agenda, I will be spending the first 10 to 12 minutes give you a tiny bit of an introduction of both of the programs. And thereafter, I will open it up for questions, things you need to know, discussions, or anything that's on your mind you need to know straight away. Okay? Okay. So, the first thing is why you're here today. Yeah, you know the answer to that yourself, but I would assume that besides wanting to know more about these programs, I'm pretty sure you must have an interest into either your self-development, maybe first, and secondly, professional development as well. We all know that in today's world, MBA has gained a very important reputation. Yeah, and indeed, it's a very helpful program that do help individuals, progress dramatically throughout their careers. A tiny bit about RSM. Yeah, I'm very proud to say that RSM, we are we're a very well liked institution. It says top ranked there. Yes, we are. But particularly in Europe, we gain a very high level of credibility. We do work very hard for that, of course. Also, you see there, we have a Triple Crown accreditation. There is a number of acronyms there. I won't bog down too much into that, but simply what that is saying is that, about 1% of the global business schools have a Triple Crown accreditation, and we are one of those institutions. Simply means that we have met all the rigorous standards that is required to be to function as a professional business school. Our faculty is also a PhD, a faculty, of course. And also the good thing to know is that they are also, what they're teaching is the field that they actually work in. Our alumni network, we have at the moment over about 50,000 alumni globally, and almost in every corner of the world. We are small, but we're there. And as you know, a network might be very helpful, very valuable, for you, and your professional career, of course. And our approach to education here is not that we just teach you alone. We really try to do things in a very collaborative fashion. We try to meet you halfway. We want to understand what it is that you are lacking, what it is that your needs are, and we really try to meet that as well. So the learning also occurs, both ways. And finally, a force for positive change. What we mean with that is that we sincerely hope with all of our input, also with all the students' input, that at the end of the program, you will find an opportunity and a way to be a force for positive change, in the global setting. That is what we exactly mean with force for positive change. Now, that's a little bit about RSM. I would like to share with you now about the programs. Good to know, one program is EMBA, and that's the Executive MBA, and the other one is GEMBA, that's the Global Executive MBA. Now, I would start with the EMBA program. And good to know that the EMBA program is designed to help individuals to transition, from a typical, maybe a technical role are a role where they have one responsibility to suddenly have many responsibilities. For instance, manage a business unit, manage a small team, general management, and so on. So you will be very operational. That is the purpose of the Executive MBA program. And I will go a bit more in details about that with you later on. The MBA program it's always starts in January. It is 18 months program, just a little over 1 year, basically. The timing and the schedule, for this program, it will be once every other week. So it's twice a month, and it takes place on Friday nights from 6:30 to 9:30, and on Saturdays from 9:30 to 5 o'clock. So that is the rhythm, for the MBA program, once every other week. Who is in the class? Yeah, it's a mix of domestic, local, and international cohorts. It's a very broad, very diverse background of individuals, from nationalities, to academic background, to also professional work where they do. So right now, from a nationality angle, we have about 28 different nationalities into the MBA program, and about 57 of them are international, meaning that they're not from the Netherlands itself. They either live around in very close proximity to the Netherlands. The other part of the MBA program also is that there is experiential learning. That is traditionally the study trip. There is one study trip during the lifetime of the program. And there's also a in-company project. The in-company project basically is an opportunity for for you to assemble and put everything what you've learned together and resolve a particular problem within an organization. And again, that is something I will be happy to share with you a little bit more in detail later on, or on a private one-to-one discussion as well. And of course, the MBA program, our peers, our faculty, our alumni, we have a very strong global presence altogether. So that is in a nutshell about the MBA. Yeah. I would like to proceed with the next program, that is the GEMBA. The GEMBA program is designed for those individuals who are already in a management role. For instance, they must have had at least 3 to 5 years of managerial experience and at least 10 years of work experience. The purpose of the GEMBA program is to groom you to move on into a more senior leadership role, for instance, in a C-suite, or in roles that really demand for you to take on strategic responsibilities. A bit of what the GEMBA program look like, from the content angle. We always start traditionally in September, but this year we start in October. So we make a start in October. We realize that September often presents a challenge because it starts often around the regular school starting period. That's why we moved to October. It's a 21-month program altogether, and also instead of one study trip, you will see that there are a total of 4 study trips into the program. And those 4 study trips, they are actually meant for, let me see, they are not random topics. Let me put it that way. You see 4 topics there. The first one is digital transformation. You see entrepreneurship and venturing. You see corporate strategy, and leading with impact in developing and emerging countries. So those 4 topics are based on research, and those are topics that really give senior leadership, quite some challenge. So that's why we are tackling those 4. Yeah. In the meantime, I do see some questions there in the chat. We will come back to you in a moment. shortly after the presentation, and then we can open it up, for more discussion. But this is, in a nutshell, about the Gamba program. Okay. Um, see. Now, as we speak, you may be wondering, okay, what is the difference between the EMBA and the Gamba program? Which program is right for you? Allow me to give you a brief overview of what the difference is of these two programs. Okay. Let's start with the profile. We have a Gamba recommended profile and we have an EMBA recommended profile. For the Gamba profile, we're looking for individuals who already, are senior career professionals. Often they are already en route to senior leadership responsibilities and so on. Also, typically they have already 10 years of work experience or and also at least 3 to 5 years of managerial experience. Right now, the average amount of experience in the Gamba program is 17 years, and the average managerial experience is 7 years in total. The age category, more or less, in the class right now is about 41 years, but we have students, that are actually 36 to 55 in the class. So there's a wide range at the moment. So that is just the average. Now, about the EMBA recommended profile, the EMBA profile is typically for those who are in the mid-career. Often they start early in management careers or wanting to transition into a management career. So you have a lot of operational responsibility here. Typically, 4 to 8 years of work experience. And right now, the average experience is 11 years, and the age is around 35 years, for the EMBA program. Let me see here. So that is the first part of the difference between these two programs. And I'm gonna proceed with the second part, which is the last one, that I'll be sharing with you right now, is that Gamba program, what is the focus? The learning focus here is strategic. So like I mentioned, senior leadership, grooming, and development, whereas the EMBA is operational, 360-degree general management altogether. The Gamba has 4 study trips, EMBA has 1. And good to know that both programs also come with executive coaching. So you will have a coach that work alongside with you individually and also personally, and also in a group setting, to help you develop and continue to groom your individual leadership style. Yeah. Yeah, those are the differences between the EMBA and the Gamba. And before I open it up to questions that you may have, I would like for you to reflect on these top skills that employers seek today. You see things like leadership, ability to work in a team setting, communication, problem solving. You don't see a lot of hard skills there. You don't see, finance, marketing, and so on. Of course, those are needed. And those are things you will learn also in the EMBA. But these are the top things that they look for. So they really do require soft skills, from you. And these are the skills you will also learn, in the Gamba program. Yeah. At this point, I would like to, I would like to stop the presentation. And like promised, I would speak for the first 10 to 12 minutes, discussing this with you. And I am opening it up, for questions that you may have at this time. Okay, thank you. Let's see, we have, and I didn't mention before, for questions that you can have, I would ask if you can just put them into the Q&A chat box. Okay. So I'm ready for you now. You're here today. to learn more about it. And I am assuming that you have some questions for me as well. Please carry on if you have any questions. Okay, while I'm waiting for some questions to come in, um, I'll be happy to touch on some common things that people are always asking about, these programs. One of those things is, okay, I'm going to do this program. I'm going to commit, put a lot of time into this, and but how much time do I need to invest into this? Well, on an average, our students are telling us that time investment is about 20 to 23 hours per week, both programs. Yeah. Um, However, of course, that can change. The more the more knowledge you may have in a particular course. For instance, let's say if you are very strong in finance, and you follow the finance course, chances are you may spend a little less time, a little less than 20 hours per week. But the opposite can also be true. If finance is not your thing, you may spend up maybe a little bit more into that. Good to know, okay, that for both programs, we won't be going deep in all of the topics. We will make sure you understand the concept and the fundamentals enough for you to know to understand the business language. Okay. I see that there is one question here that comes in, what is the study load daily? Okay, that's a good question. Let me see here. Yeah, so the study load is more or less what I just mentioned. So that's the 20 to 23 hours per week. And the percentage of this in person versus, online is about yeah, you do your study behind the scenes. So you come to class for the MBA program, for instance. You come to class on Friday afternoon and Saturday all day. And then the next week you won't come. Then the week after you come again. So your study basically takes place, in your private environment. And when you come to class is when you have to discuss those items. Okay. So you would say about in person, is almost 100% you do it. In classes when you discuss things. Now, let me see. And if I didn't answer the question, satisfactory, please come back, and nudge me again. And let me see. Good to know, though. Okay, the program is not online, so everything is in person. Okay, and the one thing I didn't mention about the Gamba, my apologies for that, is the Gamba program. You attend classes once per month. That is from Wednesdays to Saturday. Yeah. Opposed to the EMBA is twice per month on Friday and Saturday. Okay. Another question that comes in is, I will read it out first. Can you elaborate on the grading? What about AI? It is unthinkable in this day and age. How does Erasmus go about this in the courses and reports? Are there group assignments? If so, how does this work? Yeah, so the grading, that's a very good question. Absolutely, we have a grading system in place. In fact, for both programs, there are 2 courses that you will be doing with closed books, with closed exams. Yeah, the other programs, you will be allowed to do them with open books. In fact, those are more in the form of individual assignments or team assignments, teams, groups of 4 or 5, more or less. And so the grading is look, at this stage in your career, we are not looking to put you into a box or into a corner to tell you your grade is is 1 versus 1 to 10, or 10 to 1. Okay, so we really want to make sure that you get the information right. We really want to make sure that, you know, your grade, you know, are fine. But if you are not doing well, of course, you will be notified about that by your faculty and your mentor. Yeah, but good to know that we don't have a lot of cases that grading doesn't go very well. So yes, there are grades into the program. Okay. Um, AI as well, you know, there are very specific policies about the usage of AI as well in you writing your essay or assignments or things like that. Those are details that your faculty or your mentor will discuss with you in the program. But do know we have very specific and stringent policies about that as well. I'm not saying it's not allowed to be used; it is allowed to be used, but there are policies around that. So yes. AI is allowed to be used in some within some context, with providing those policies are adhered to. Okay. Hope I answered the question correct. I'm having a question about okay, apologies if it's a difficult question. I want to be transparent and direct in raising this question. What is the average salary increase a candidate can expect after completing a Gamba or EMBA program? Yeah, that is the first question. And the second part of the question is, pretty sure the audience would find this very interesting, is one of the fundamental drivers of any business is financial returns. And I view pursuing an MBA as a strategic investment in myself. Understanding the potential return on this investment, it is important to me. Okay, yeah, good question. Look, I'll be also very transparent with you. Um, we don't have hard data that says, okay, you know, this is the exact percentage increase students obtain, you know, after graduating for the Gamba program. But we do have a lot of anecdotal examples of students who have gained a promotion, you know, to the next level, even when they were in the Gamba program, during the Gamba program, and some after the Gamba program as well. So I won't be able to express that in hard, you know, euros for you and so, but I can definitely tell you about promotions that took place. Those promotions, majority of them occurred typically, you know, during the Gamba program itself. So it's not even when they have to wait to graduate. So far, the return on the investment has been very satisfactory, you know, for our alumni. And also our current students are very satisfied because we conduct also surveys, of course, you know, in making sure that the at least the requirements and also the satisfaction, the requirements are met satisfactorily. Sorry about that. So as far if it is from your question, you know, the investment, majority of students, I almost dare to say most all of the students find it to be a very good return, you know, for their investment. Yeah. And again, we'll be happy to pick this question up on a personal level to go more in detail. You know, after this session, we can book a private session to discuss that as well. Okay. Okay. Thank you. What subjects are closed books? The closed book subjects has to do, maybe fortunately or unfortunately, with financial with numbers. I think financial accounting is one of them, and corporate finance. Those two are the closed book ones. So yeah, if you are a fan of finance, probably, you know, this will be a bit easier on you. If you're not, you may have to work a bit harder for that. Okay. We can also mention that some studies are decided, let me see here. Okay, yeah, indeed. Sorry, and let me just look at this question. I'm getting like a lot of questions here. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Those are some of the questions that came in, and I am here to answer more. So feel free to please go ahead, you know, shoot the questions. I also see another question that comes in, yeah, and it sounds as follows. If my age and career experience are more aligned with the Gamba program, but the class schedule and travel format of an EMBA suit me better, what kind of advice would you give in that case? Um, I think that's a thank you for asking that question, Khan. I think it's a very realistic question. Um, because we are all, very busy people. Yeah, I can imagine we have work to do. Look, um, I think the best piece of advice I can give you is your goal should drive your choice. Okay. If you, let's say you are, your goal, or there's a plan for you to join into more senior roles. Yeah. But because of schedule, you will do a program that doesn't prepare you for senior roles. It prepares you to be in the operational role. Yeah. So you may not benefit much from it at that point, to be honest with you. Okay. Look at it as a shoe. Okay. If you buy a shoe that doesn't fit you very well, you don't want to walk with that because you like the shoe. Okay. So my advice to you is, in that case, if the company might be willing to collaborate with you in terms of time, um, then I think that you will benefit better from that, to be honest. But again, we also have cases whereby somebody has 20 years of work experience and maybe 2 years of managerial experience, or 3 years or 4 years, but they still prefer to do the AMBA program. And that is okay. That is no problem. That is providing, this is going to help with your future career. If it is not going to make an impact, then I'm not sure if that is the right choice. And again, we can speak about this. My advice to you is, let's have a conversation about this more private. Yeah, and I'll be very happy to walk you through the some options. Take it from there. Okay. Let me see. There is another question here that comes in. Um, all right, no, that was not the question. So I'm here. We still have another couple of minutes to go. So please feel free to drop anything you would like to know about both the Gamba and the AMBA program. Okay. Um, while I'm waiting, maybe I can touch base on how to fund your MBA, as well. It is quite a significant investment, for many people. We do have ways and means that might be able to help you with the financing your program. That is, and I will be happy to send this via an email with you. So, but we have financial partners that have offer a financial plan to finance your entire education, whereby the payment terms are spread, over 8-10 years, with decent interest rates. Also, if you live in the Netherlands, and I think if you have been in the system registered here, you can also make use of another opportunity called lifelong learning from a DUO. I think it is Dienstuitvoeringsorganisatie. So DUO also might be able to borrow you some funds. I think you can get about 10,000 per year. And also, yeah, we also have scholarship opportunities as well, although not dramatically amounts, but we have some small amounts available, occasionally as well. And I'm waiting. I have a feeling I'm talking a lot. I'm not getting a lot of questions, but I'll carry on. The other thing I wanted to mention as well is the diversity in the class. And when I mention that, when I say diversity, I mean the diverse, starting from academic backgrounds to professional work experience, and also nationality wise. So those are not things that happen by chance. We designed the programs to have this three-dimensional level of diversity, because our programs are preparing you to work globally. So it's important to have a perspective, from a global angles as well. That is why we emphasize on that so heavily. Um, Now, I'll pause for a moment. Go ahead and shoot your questions. I'm pretty sure you got something that you need to know. And I'll be waiting for questions that you may have. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else? We don't have to go all the way to 5 o'clock. We can finish sooner as well, of course. In particular, if there are no more questions, we will be happy to finish sooner. And let me see. Well, before we finish, I wanted to proceed to our final slide. Is okay, what are the things that you can do right now, after this. Good to know that, first of all, yeah, speak to us, let us know, what things that you want to and need to know, and you will get our contact, meaning my contact, and also Caroline's contact. So that way, in the email that we will send you, you will have a link that you can book a private one-on-one with us, so we can go a little bit more in detail, about the program, and also perhaps helping you decide what works for you. We can also, of course, connect you with current students and alumni. For those of you who want to know, like, okay, fine, who are the people doing the program? What's their experience like? So we will be very happy to connect you with them as well, if you desire to do so. Good to know the Gemba application deadline is September 22nd. EMBA is the first. A caveat to that, okay? Do know that around this time of the year, the spring is when the applications really come in at a much faster speed. And seeing that Gemba we cannot take more than 30 people in the program. We ask to make use of this opportunity to apply during the spring itself, if you can. And I think we have some ways to encourage you to do that. And that is early bird. You can save about $5,000, I believe. Yeah, if you apply for the program before end of the month. And apply meaning, submit all your information that you have. Yeah. And for the EMBA program, that is December 1st, the same thing. If you're applying for the EMBA, try to do that, before, even during September itself, October, because applications really fly in very quickly. Other ways and means to help you decide whether you should do EMBA or a GEMBA program is, you can join a live class. We'll be happy to host you for a live class here on campus. And in the live class, you can get a good look and feel, okay, who is in the class, what do they do, and we'll be happy to so you can experience yourself firsthand. We have 2 events coming up in the next couple of weeks. One is, I think next week, it's a women in business event, for those of you, and you do not only for women, it is named Women in Business because we want to emphasize that that domain as well. But that's a great event to attend if you can. I will also put it in the email for you that you can take a look at it. And if you would like to register, you're happy to come. And also we have an open day, for both programs on June 14th. For the Women in Business event, it's free, so you don't have to pay anything for that. Of course, the open day, absolutely not. That's very normal. We have a variety of one-to-one sessions. And as I promised, we will also email you. And as I'm speaking, I'm seeing some more information coming in here. Let me see. Trying to, yeah, okay, yeah, Caroline, sorry, Veronica, thank you for that. Veronica has dropped all the links into the chat, so you can see the links about the admission procedure for both programs, and also you see the registration opportunity for the Women in Business event, and also, for the open day later in June. Yeah. And our contacts, myself, Rudsel, is also there. You can just copy paste it from there. And also Caroline Angle, my colleague as well. Her contact also is there. C Angle at rsm.nl. At this point, I would like to, one more last round just to make sure that we didn't miss any questions at all. If you don't have any more questions, ladies and gents, then I would like to thank you very much for your attendance today. It has been a pleasure to be here, and I'm happy to be able to share with you, these program details. As promised, you will be receiving our email with some information, more information about the program. And we will also send you, besides the email with the details, you will also be able to book private one-to-ones, like I mentioned. Okay, well, I would say thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. It's bright and sunny out there, so it's time to go out to hit the terrace, have some fun. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.